Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get all post a new video. In a moment, we're going to be discussing when to quit on something or someone, such as someone you love. Very, very difficult topic matter tonight. But first of all, if you're new to this channel, you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories book, and also the author of Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook. You can get those from Amazon. So yes, tonight's show then. So when should you quit on something or someone? First of all, we're going to be talking about something, and you might have seen the fact I was very enthusiastic in a previous video saying I was going to be starting the gym. I was really excited because I want to get more fitter and I didn't want to be sick anymore. And I just, as well, I wanted it for ankle rehabilitation, which I don't think I mentioned. But I have a chronic pain condition that affects the nerves and muscles of the body, which is called fibromyalgia. I've had it since 2012. Well, that's my official diagnosis. I think I started with the condition in 2010. And so it's now in year 2022. And that means I've had the condition for 10 years. Now I manage it really, really well. Hence the book on how to have less pain, more energy and feel happier. How to manage fibromyalgia to do that. So yeah, so I don't eat a lot of the foods that are really bad for fibro. There's certain food ingredients I use to help with the pain. And yeah, I live quite an energetic life overall, much more energy than most people with fibro. So I thought that I would try the gym. I used to go to it years ago before I had my disability. And yeah, and I thought because I'd gone for physio on my ankle, which I'm still seeing the physio for my ankle break, my ankle break happened in April last year. But one of the things that's held it back from the healing process and been slow is because I've got fibromyalgia. It does affect things. Now, I don't dwell too much on fibro. I have it all my life. You know, it's constant pain, but I'm used to it. You know, I'm used to dealing with it. But any extra pain on top of that is always difficult sometimes. Now, I knew going to the gym would cause me some pain, right? I'm like, bring on the pain. But it actually ended up causing me a lot more pain than I thought and a lot more issues. Such as I was feeling really dizzy, although I think the dizziness might be connected to an underlying issue rather than the gym, but the gym has exacerbated it. So I'm going to speak to the doctor about that. And I can have low blood sugar, low blood pressure as well. And I ate more going to the gym because obviously low blood sugar. Need to eat more if I'm doing more exercise, but also I did an hour and 20 minutes walking before I even went to the gym on Monday. So I went to the gym and I was intending to join the gym, but because I've got a disability, I didn't know how it would go. I was able to have an induction session with a gym instructor, and he took me around the whole of the gym and showed me how to use the majority of the equipment. There was a couple of things, well, a few things that I couldn't use, right? So he adjusted all the weights for me, and he'd never heard of fibromyalgia before, so he doesn't know anything about the condition, right? And when I was on the cycling or skiing machines, all I could do is about 5 repetitions, which isn't very much, but I would stop and say when it's hurting me. It causes me pain just to do any exercise, but even walking causes me pain. I just don't go around saying stuff like this because obviously if you focus on pain, you're just going to get more of it. So anyway, we're going around doing different things, and there was one that was for the lower back, and he said, and I told him that I'm on a physio waiting list to see someone for my back since March 2020. We're now in January 2022. Sorry, March 2021 last year. We're now in January 2022. Right, so it's been like at least 9 months I've been waiting for this back physio, specifically on the lower back. So with this machine, he said it would either help my back or make it worse, right? But I was willing to try anything I could possibly try in there because I wanted to see how I would get on, right? And it was induction. I needed to know how to use the equipment safely. The things I disliked about the gym was the lockers didn't work properly. I didn't even know how to use a locker. I had to ask a woman because the gym instructor wasn't there when I first got there. And this other woman opposite me, she ended up with her stuff locked in a locker and not being able to get it out. The woman that was helping us, showing us how to use the lockers, even she couldn't get it open, I couldn't get it open. So the poor woman ended up with her belongings locked in, and the guy who's supposed to be doing my gym induction, he was busy helping her and put me on a treadmill for a while. I was okay on the treadmill, but I found it so boring. And what I was absolutely shocked is there's TVs in there. Now, most people might think, well, that's great TV and there's entertainment, so you don't get bored. With me, I get bored of TV and I absolutely hate it. I purposely do not watch the news because it's very bad for my mind. There's usually murder, death, rapes, and it's not good for anyone's mind to be watching that, right? There's loads of people watch it. You don't have to watch it. So I purposely do not watch that at home. I have my TV connected to the Blu-ray channel, Blu-ray/DVD player, and that is it. I don't watch terrestrial TV. I haven't done that for a long time. The only time I do that is if I'm around with my parents. So it reminded me a bit of going to my parents where they watch TV a lot, but obviously my parents are at home a lot. That's what they like to do. But when I'm going to the gym, and presumably I was going to be paying £25 a month for this thing, the last thing I want to be doing is trying to exercise my body, but basically botching my mind up by watching rubbish on TV with negative stuff in it, right? And so this was not good feeling for me. It was very old feeling, very, very bad feeling, and I just felt really uncomfortable having those TVs there, and like it just didn't suit me, didn't feel right. Plus, I'm used to, like, years ago when I went to the gym, like pumping out music, like dance music, and having a really good time and being energized, and I didn't find it energizing at all. I found it boring. I got bored, to be perfectly honest with you. The rebounder that I wanted to use, the mini trampoline, that had been turned into a thing basically to bounce weighted balls off. And so the legs have been taken off, so it wasn't even stable to actually do trampolining. It was attached to a climbing wall, basically. So I couldn't use it, wasn't fit for the purpose. And in this particular room with the climbing bars, that took up nearly the whole of this small room, and there was three people on exercise mats, some weights, and the rebound, like I said, had been made into object to bounce weighted balls off. And I'm thinking, this is just like me being at home years ago, like 5 years old or whatever, like bouncing a ball against a wall. It's just so boring to me. And there was two machines. One was for the back, and like I think I told you that, and it has caused my back more damage. It was a bottom, meant to help with the bottom of the back, and if I didn't tell you, because I can't remember at the moment, it's late here, then basically my lower back has been hurting again since, and that's what I'm going to go on to talking about more. So, he said, the guy said at the gym it could hurt the back or help it. And the only other thing in there was for the tummy in this particular area, and some big balls that you can sit on for core, abs while doing weights, right? And then that was only where there was good music, dance music. But instead of doing the gym stuff, I just wanted to dance all across the room. And I'm just like, I've really got to dance. I've got bronze in freestyle disco dancing, highly commended, by the way, and I really need to dance. My soul needs to dance so much, and it's becoming more and more prominent that I've got to do that. And whilst I was at gym, I was thinking I shouldn't be here. Like, it's boring for me. It's the life I used to lead years ago. I used to go to the gym. It was the fact that the physiotherapist has sparked my interest in the gym again, because I'd had to go in the gym at the hospital for my physio for my ankle break. And so that sparked my interest in the gym. But to be honest, I preferred the small gym at the hospital. I had more equipment, was more interesting than the whole blooming Riverside thing. I just thought there's not many machines I can use for a long period of time, and it's boring. And plus, I was worried about my pain. And so I just wanted to dance. I'm thinking, the amount of money I would have been spending there, I could have spent on doing something to do with dance. I tried, I spoke to the guy, and he said to me, like, basically, there's no cost for that. I said, well, they said I'd have to join. He said, what you need to do is you need to decide whether you want to come or not first, because obviously you have got I've got my disability, I've got the pain problems. And he said, I said, well, usually the pain's delayed by 24, 48 hours, sometimes up to 72 hours. And he said, well, wait for the 72 hours and wait for a few days to see how you feel and if you've got the pain or not before you decide whether to join or not. And so I said, but they said I'd have to pay and sign up. He said, well, you know, they can't make you do that. And so basically I got that session for free. I told them on reception, and they were like, you know, I said, because I've got a disability. And the guy says to wait to sign up because, you know, I might have too much pain. And they were fine about that, because what are they going to say? I've got a disability. You know, you know, if it was unfit for my purpose, then they'd be selling me something that's, you know, trade description act, really, in terms of it wouldn't be fit for the purpose for me, right? They could get themselves in trouble if I injured myself, and, you know, and they'd, you know, not allowed me the time to actually decide whether I should be going or not. So they were really nice about it. I really appreciated that. On the plus side, the trainer, the gym instructor was really, really nice. Everyone was really friendly in the room. I liked that a lot. And you could pay an extra £5 and use the jacuzzi. Now, the jacuzzi is something I was really interested in using because I have pain all over anyway. And the doctor, when I first diagnosed with fibro in 2012, who diagnosed me with it, he said that a jacuzzi would be really good for my pain, especially as I can't swim, because water should be really good for it. But you have to do the gym first for £25 and add it on, a jacuzzi on, for an extra £5. However, so that'd be £35 for the whole month. But if I wanted to use the jacuzzi just on its own, it's 40 quid on its own. So that is ridiculous, but that's the way it is, apparently. So yeah, but yeah, everyone was really friendly. The gym instructor was really nice. The people were really friendly in the gym. I didn't have any problem. That was a really good thing about it, but it just didn't feel right to me. You know, it wasn't high octane energy. It wasn't really vibrant. It didn't make me feel energetic. You know, it didn't make me feel energized, fun, happy. I just felt like I'm bored, and I'm thinking, well, maybe exercise is not supposed to always be fun. But then I was thinking afterwards, no, exercise should be fun. It should be fun, energizing, make you feel good, especially if you're going to do it over long periods of time. And so anyway, I was concerned because when I was walking back from the gym, my ankle break, I could feel it where it had been broken last year. But I have to say, before I saw the physio last Friday, I could also feel where it was broken before then. He said you shouldn't be able to do that, but I can. And I don't know if that's because fibro like gives you special superhero powers where you can actually feel the accident as if it happened just then. You know, I can still feel old injury pain from years ago. But obviously this is only last year, and I can pinpoint where the crack was. So, you know, where the cut was across my ankle bone. So that is a bit concerning. But anyway, on Friday, he did tell me my ankle was weaker again because I hadn't done all the exercise I needed to do because I'd had the chest infection for 6 weeks. So, he gave me some more exercise to do, saying they will hurt. And I talked to him about the gym, and he approved it. He said there's no restrictions, just that if you do jumping up and down, don't do more than 5 at a time because it'll make you sore. But anyway, I didn't do any jumping up and down while I was there. But I did use machines would you know, like even cycling machines, stuff like that, rowing machine would still affect my ankle. And there was one I had to push up against it. So anyway, when I was walking home, I could actually feel, you know, where the ankle break was. It was like hurting me there. And anyway, the next day, I was just in a lot of pain. My left ankle, where it had the break, that was in a lot of pain. My lower back was in a lot of pain. My lower back, I think, was Wednesday rather than the Tuesday. Yeah, so basically I started off with really bad ankle pain. To cut long story short, over the Tuesday and the Wednesday, I ended up with an ice pack either side of my foot. Thank you, lots of blood for the thumbs up. I ended up with an ice pack either side of my foot and one in my back to reduce the pain. Also, on Tuesday, my legs were really shaky. I was feeling really dizzy, and so I was feeling too weak to even stand in the shower. So that was a real issue for me. My legs can feel shaky anyway, fibromyalgia, but this was like it was like really superimposed, you know, it made much worse, if you like. And the dizziness was really bad, but I've been feeling more and more dizzy as the weeks progress. I think that might be an infection I've got, and I'm gonna speak to the doctor about that because I suspect it's an infection because I just keep feeling dizzy and dizzy even now when I'm talking to you, you know. And so that's really hard for me. So I think that the gym, because I had a couple of times where I felt a bit dizzy, so I think the gym probably just exacerbated that. But anyway, to cut a long story short, as you've probably gathered, you know, I've had a lot of pain. I have pain in my back, pain in my ankle again, made my ankle worse again. I've had like some chest pain as well. You know, a little bit of arm pain, not too much in the arms actually. I was quite surprised about that, so that wasn't too bad considering what I did. So, but you know, overall too much pain. Shaky legs is no good because if I have problems with my legs and they feel really weak. And anyway, you know, the whole point of going to the gym is to get fitter and to feel like, you know, like my body's stronger, not weaker, right? And I knew that it could do that, and I was prepared to bring on the pain, like I said, but weighing up the pros and cons, for me there's more cons because I felt bored in the gym. It obviously caused me much more pain anyway, to the point of debilitation. And so, you know, I decided that I don't want to go back because I was thinking more and more that I want to dance while I was there. And I was thinking, I'm just going to resent coming here because I'm going to think I'm wasting my time when I could be dancing and doing something I really, really do enjoy. So, so I looked at other gyms at home just in case, because obviously other gyms can provide a different environment. With some of the other gyms, I noticed they're cheaper and they have classes included, whereas this other gym you'd have to pay. But there's no Zumba class locally near where you know, in the city centre or near where I live. So that's out because I thought Zumba would be great because I'm used to dancing to foreign music and it's based on foreign moves and foreign music. So it's kind of like what I'm used to. I even thought I'd make a really good Zumba instructor. And I've even looked into training courses of that because I had the crazy idea that I'd be really good at that. But obviously my body would need to be a little bit better shape. But when I do dancing, my body automatically feels so good and kind of the adrenaline kicks in. So it floods out a lot of the pain. So overall I feel really good. And I thought, oh, there's no classes near me. I should like teach Zumba. I'd be good at that. I think I really would be good at it if my body was in better shape. But as I've got health issues and my ankle's still not right at the moment, and obviously with the gym now, then I'm thinking, no, not at the moment. But yeah, so, and I haven't even been to a Zumba class. I've just seen a bit of it online. But I know I'd be good at it because I just love that type of music and dancing. You know, it's kind of what they play at my usual club. Ideally, I would love to go back to my usual club and club every Tuesday, but because I can't be vaccinated, I'm at much higher risk of catching the virus, which I don't want to do because I was sick with a chest infection for 6 weeks after I'd been to a nightclub last time and clubbed for 5.5 hours. Clearly, if I can club for 5.5 hours, I'm fit anyway, really, in that way. But overall, my body's like a bit like, but that's kind of how it is with fibro. So I was being optimistic with the gym. I thought I'd give it a try. I gave it a really good try, but already I decided to quit doing that. And when I posted my status on Facebook, for some reason, it seems to be offensive to some people. They can't get their head around why I'd want to quit the gym and keep trying to convince me to go, which is entirely not very good because obviously, clearly, if I'm in a lot of pain, it's been very debilitating for me. And, you know, I think I've been very, very brave in trying the gym anyway, especially after all these years. And I gave it a good shot. You know, I was there going across all the equipment, but when I don't enjoy it, it's boring. It didn't feel a good environment for me. Obviously I've looked into other gyms, but I just don't feel right going to the gym. It feels like there's something I did in my past now, and the past is gone, and I shouldn't be going back to that. I mean, my intuition told me to go and give it a try, right? I believe everything happens for a reason. So I think, you know, think there was some reason why I needed to go there. But what it did, in fact, is it validated the fact that I need to dance. It made me just want to dance. I'm like, why can't I just jump across this room and dance all across it? And I couldn't do that. And so that's very frustrating. I thought, you know, I'd rather spend that money, thanks for the thumbs up, on doing something I enjoy, because life is meant to be enjoyed, right? So I've quit, and I've got people on Facebook, you know, commenting me, trying to like persuade me to go back to the gym and to do stuff there. And it's like, but it's not me. It's, for a long time, it hasn't actually been me. I haven't felt like a gym person, but I do like weights. But I've got weights at home. I've got an exercise mat. And what I found quite strange, and I did find it very patronizing, is people seem to, I know some people were being helpful and they didn't mean it like that, but you know what I mean? They act as though I've never done any exercise in my life before and don't know what I'm doing at the gym. And it's like, I did weightlifting from the age of 17 to 19 years birth certificate age on my own for 2 years. I had a proper gym membership. I paid for a whole year. It was quite an exquisite gym. And there was a guy who did a lot of, worked out a program for me there and everything. But because I'd done the weights for 2 years between the ages of 17 and 19, I'm talking about heavy weights, like 21 kilograms, I think they were, in total York dumbbells, the ones guys would usually use. I kind of botched my arms up a bit because it made them more in pain. So I can only do like 6 kilograms between them now. And that's because of the problems I've got, I kind of overdid it really before. And so, I'm used to that. And when I went to the gym, it was a year's membership. I had to take I actually did credit on it. I don't usually do credit, but I did credit on that. And I did it with an ex at the time. So we both were going together, which is more motivating anyway. Usually you've got someone going with you. It was really good pumping out music. It felt great and energizing. It wasn't like this centre that's just got boring TV on there. And it's like, I don't go to the gym to pay to the gym to go and see news that's going to depress me. Thanks very much. So I don't want to go to a gym that's going to make my mind bad because, a fitness is not just about the body, it's about the mind. And when I said to get fit, I meant to hopefully increase my metabolism and just to have some focus of something to do regularly and some exercise I thought would be good for me. But there are other forms of exercise you can do, such as, like I said, dancing. And I already knew from being there and having assessed my last 2 days that I don't want to go back to the gym. But it seems peculiar how people are trying to persuade me I should be going doing something that's going to go against my own body and make me feel bad. But I already knew that I'll probably get judged because obviously putting myself out on social media and saying I'm trying the gym and putting my gym equipment on, saying I want to change my life, and then all of a sudden saying I'm not going back to the gym, I'm probably going to get some judgment. Megan, lots of love. Hello, Sandra. Stopping specific things is perfectly valid as long as it is your choice and it's better your physical and mental health, happiness, etc. Exactly. It's my choice. And I'm absolutely shocked. I got much more support on YouTube, by the way. So thank you for all the love on here. But on Facebook, I'm absolutely shocked. And people are like, oh, you should be doing this amount of hours. You should be doing this. You should be getting a personal trainer. I don't want a personal trainer because I don't want to go to the gym. Right. And also I've been doing exercises for absolutely years of my life on an exercise mat, got a whole routine worked out for myself. And the only reason I stopped doing that was twofold. Last year was because one, it increased my back pain and started making me tireder. And so I thought something was up then. So I put myself on, I got referred by the doctor to a waiting list for my lower back, which I still haven't seen someone about since March last year. So that's a huge long waiting list for my lower back. And I didn't want to botch that up anymore. And I started feeling tireder. So I thought there's no, if it's going to make you tireder and hurt your back more, it's better not to do it because exercise can make the fibromyalgia worse. It's just well known. I do believe it's good to still be flexible and stuff. Oh, and just to prove categorically I can still be flexible while we're here live, I'm going to prove it. I did in a photograph, but anyway, I've got my dressing gown on. But seeing as people are moaning about me, it's like, oh, if I can do it without tripping over. Oh my God, sorry about this. But anyway, look, I don't know if you can see it. Oh my God. I need to hold on to the wardrobe because this isn't a wardrobe. Anyway, I'm up here now. This is really high because it's above hip height. It's nearly at my chest height. So that's a foot. Not recommended to do that high because it probably botched my back up because usually I put it to hip height, not like my chest, my chest height, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I just had to prove that I could do that because I wanted to. So I'm really flexible because of all the exercises I've done over the years, right? I can literally, actually, while we're here, I may as well go on the bed and do it. So you know what I mean? So yes, I've got a mismatch of clothes on, people. So look. Like this is here, see? I can do this with my nose, which I don't usually show you, but I thought I would. But this is my bad ankle. So this one I can't get up as much because it's bad, But I can just about touch it if I move it. But this is actually my bad ankle where I broke it. So obviously that's going to take longer, whereas this one I could put higher. But you know what I mean? I'm very flexible. People can, and I can cross my legs still. So people can't, people acting like I've never done any exercise in my life before, right? Just because I'm a bigger girl doesn't mean to say I'm not fit in some ways, and doesn't mean to say that I've never done exercise in my life, or I don't know what I'm doing. I just find it really patronizing, and I just think it's ridiculous, because just because a person's bigger doesn't mean to say they aren't fit. I mean, I'm not totally fit in the sense I've got fibromyalgia and other things, right? But I am a lot fitter than some people. Well, I can do stuff like that. And I went out clubbing for 5.5 hours, and there's people that are able-bodied. They're only there till 2 in the morning, you know what I mean? So I can do a lot that other people can't do, So I had a whole exercise routine. Even Sam filmed me for I was going to be doing a course for people with fibromyalgia, and it was going to be like, it's going to be like a video, like one of the video courses, to do with helping people with fibro. And Sam recorded it. I've never launched it actually, and it was like nearly, I think it was 40 minutes of exercise to show how I do all the exercises, because I've seen loads of physiotherapists over the years, and they've given me advice about what I should be doing for different parts of my body over the years, so I compile that all together and put it into a routine. But obviously, as my back started causing me problems, lower back, if you keep exercising something that's got a injury potentially or some sort of issue, and you keep hammering it over and over again, it's just going to get worse. I mean, it got to a stage with my back where the plates were coming out of my back, like the plates were moving when I was going to Sainsbury's and stuff like that. But when I actually had my ankle injury, I was resting it all the time, my back, and Andy, my friend, was doing the shopping for me, food shopping. I didn't really have a problem. The back pain went away. My neck was a lot better because I get neck pain as well. And so actually, it's better to rest it and not be lifting stuff or pulling stuff or do anything, and just literally chilling out. That's actually really what's best for it. But when I live on my own, and obviously I don't expect Andy to be here all the time, even though they have been helping me lately with some shopping and some cleaning still, then you know what I mean, I have to be able to move things on my own, whether it causes me pain or even even like temporary injury or whatever. I've got to do it, because I live on my own. I've got to do it, otherwise it means paying for a carer, and I don't really want to be having a carer at this time in my life. But things happen. I always know with fibromyalgia you can end up having a carer. It's not about age, it's about the condition. Because I've met someone who was a customer in my old job, and she was a girl. She was 15 years old, and she had chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. I think it was at 15. I think she was 15. She was in her teens anyway. And it was just like, you know what I mean? You can't believe that she's got both of them. So, like, you can have fibromyalgia at a really young age. It doesn't matter what age you are. The fact is, I do manage it really well. A lot of people are bedridden. Some people are on crutches or in a wheelchair with fibromyalgia. I'm not any of those, And I just found it really patronizing when I spent years of my life doing exercise at home on a mat, which I still have the mat round the corner. I have 2 mats, a big thick one and another one. And, I've even got weights here and everything. And I could do exercise at home if I wanted to again, but I'm not going to do something that's going to tire me out and make my back worse, If I get help by the back specialist with the physio, I might then go back to doing some more exercises. And I might still go and do some of that if I want to. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to get more tired and it's going to make me feel worse, then I'm not going to do it. That's going to make me just worse overall. So anyway, I can decide for myself. And this year, I am changing my life because I'm trying different things, right? And I'm focused on my book publishing career, which is very different to last year when I wasn't sure what I wanted to do completely. I knew I wanted to write books and change lives and help asexuals, but I didn't think of it as a book publishing career. So, with in regards to when should you quit on something, I've quit the gym after one induction that didn't work out. And I'm not paying for membership. I'm not going to pay £25 a month for something I know is not going to suit me, right? And so people are shocked that I quit after one lesson. And obviously, I'd already thought about this. I thought, I'm putting on social media. What if by any chance it doesn't work out and you do quit? Everyone's going to be judging you. But it doesn't matter if everyone's going to be judging me, because at the end of the day, the only person I need to answer to is myself. I'm not going to muck my own body up just to prove a point that I'm going for a month or 2 months and it doesn't work out for me. I know my own mind. I can make decisions quicker these days. And this is a year where I do make fast decisions. I trust my own judgment and I know what I'm doing, you know? And so, you know, like people just, you know, like shocked me. It's like, why are you coming, telling me, oh, I can help you with exercise. I can help you with routine. It's like, I've been doing exercises for years. You know, it just boggles me. People's like assume that I don't know how to exercise or use the gym and stuff like that. It just, all that they know best for me than my own physical needs. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. I wouldn't go around telling someone to do something, especially if I didn't know about their condition. Obviously, you can offer advice if you know more about their condition. These people don't even know anything about fibromyalgia. The gym instructor didn't know anything about fibromyalgia. And to be quite honest, my ankle physio didn't even know much about it when I first met him. It's only through me that he's come to understand it, right? Usually doctors have to have specialist training to understand fibromyalgia. They have to know about it. When I was at the doctor's surgery a long time ago, this woman had specialist training on it. And she said, yeah, your pain is like 10 times worse than the average person. So, of course, if I go to the gym and there is going to be pain there, it's going to be exacerbated. But I wasn't expecting it to the point where I couldn't actually stand up. Well, I was worried about going in the shower and standing up. And I thought, you can't do that, Sandra. You know, it's going to be you're too wobbly, you know, and to have too much pain again. So, you know what I mean? It's, you know, I know when to quit. And when this video is saying, when should you quit on something? You should quit on something. I'll go on to the someone in a bit. You should quit on something when you know it's not right for you at the earliest opportunity. Why would you continue with something that you know does not make you happy and is causing you more pain and problems? You wouldn't, right? I'm not going to go to try and prove something to people because I've got nothing to prove. That's from a place of ego, that is, right? If I was out to prove something, oh, well, I've tried it for 2 months, it didn't suit me. You know, that comes from a place of ego. I don't need to be egotistical. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. The fact is, I tried something that I hadn't tried for years, despite my pain, thought that I would be in some pain, obviously, but didn't expect that much. And also I discovered that it was boring for me, that I didn't like it, and that I really want to dance, right? So that was a process of self-discovery. People should be celebrating people trying different things, not putting them down, telling them what to do, and, you know, being really weird because they are trying to tell me what to do, and as though they know best for me. It's like, and they're shocked that I know better for myself. It's like, of course I know what's best for me. I've had this condition for 10 years. I live with it day in, day out. I know my limitations. I tried to push my limits in this case. I didn't know what my limits were actually totally because I hadn't been to the gym for years. You know, and life is a process of discovery. It's about trying new things. And if it doesn't work out and you know in your heart of hearts instinctually that you don't want to do it, you don't do it. You know, why waste time doing stuff you don't want to do that doesn't feel good to you or feel intuitively right for you when you could be just doing something else that'd be a whole lot healthier and better for you and make you feel good? It makes no sense, right? So you know, so I have quit. You know, I've decided not to do that. If I ever wanted to go back to the gym again and give it another try, I would. But, you know, I've really been turned off now, and I'm glad that I went to get the clarity I needed. I'm glad that I had the enthusiasm when I went. I'm glad that I tried it the way I did. I'm glad I had the idea in mind. But I believe everything happens for a reason. So the time I'm not going to the gym now means it's time I can be doing other stuff, right? And you don't get fitter by hurting your body more, you know. But like I said, fitness is about state of mind, not just body. And, you know, and there are some things about me which means I'm probably a lot fitter than some other people. I mean, I so far have had a chest infection, other issues, but so far, you know, I have avoided the sea. And that is what I need to avoid more than anything, you know. And I'm really proud of myself for that, you know. That is my main concern. Not whether I go to a gym or not, or decide not to go and quit it. You know, even the chest infection, it's like, well, I got better from that within 6 weeks. You know, I'm not gonna die from it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas people are dying from the sea, you know, and severely, very poorly. You know, I was poorly with my chest infection. You know, I lost my voice, so it's not easy having a chest infection. It's still a lot of problems, but you know, I'm going to be all right. So, you know, at the great scheme of things, the fact that I've got an autoimmune condition, I'm not vaccinated, and so far, I don't want to tempt fate, so I don't want to say much. But you know what I mean? Even at the moment, I'm very grateful and thankful to be here, to be alive, and to be in this position, right? My health might not be brilliant in other ways, but this is the only body I've got, right? And and it's like I can dance loads and stuff. I can move, lots when I usually dance. But at the moment, my body is not as in good shape because I have had a chest infection for 6 weeks. So I've not been able to do as much, and so that's going to take time. So with the physio exercises, I'm having to rehabilitate my ankle again, and strengthen it again and be in pain again doing that, right? But it's what I've got to do. So I could think, oh well, I haven't given the gym a good shot, but no, I know for a fact that it's not right for me to go back there. So it doesn't matter what people say. At the end of the day, it's my choice, my decision. So the answer to the question is, when should you quit on something? You should quit on something when you want to quit on something, where it's not making you happy, it doesn't feel right, it's not your vibe, intuitively you know it isn't right for you, and you may ignore it. I could go in there and I could ignore what I felt. But I'm very intuitive and I know how I felt. And if I paid attention to how I felt and didn't let my ego or pride get in the way, thinking, well, I have to go back and carry on and give it a go because it's no good quitting after just once because that would be really bad and shameful. I'm like, no, I'm not egotistical. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Life is not about pride. Life is about doing what's best for you and figuring that out by trying different things. So if something doesn't work, you can stop it, quit it, and move on to something else. Because life is too frigging short and precious, right? Like years ago, I would have been, oh, well, even maybe last year, I've been like, oh, well, maybe I should need to try it a bit more, and maybe I just need to give it another go, and maybe I just need to, carry it on for a bit, and all this type of malarkey. It looks like I'm having some issues with connection at the moment. But at the end of the day, it's my choice, my decision, and I'm dead cert this year. I'm going to be more decisive, make decisions quicker, trust my decisions, and that's how you become more fearless and more resilient in life and a stronger person, right? I stand by my decisions. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. You can't make any mistakes though, because it's just lessons you learn from. Like you could argue it's even a mistake going to the gym and causing myself all that pain. But at the end of the day, I didn't know it would cause me. I knew it was going to cause me some pain. I expected it because I said it in the video. Bring on the pain. But at the end of the day, when you've got shaky legs and all the rest of it to extreme, it's just too much. And the ankle obviously exacerbated the injury more. And I'm not going to go around going back to a gym where my injuries exacerbated. That would just be silly. So anyway, when you quit on something, it's when you want to quit, not when you're judged you should quit, not when you're told you should carry on no matter what. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's not the first time I've been in a position where someone's trying to tell me, oh, just carry on, just soldier on, just battle out, it'll get easier. It's like, at the end of the day, if I know something's not right for me, I can feel it's not right. I know it's not right. It's like I haven't wanted children since I was 15 years old. I don't change on that. I'm very steadfast, strong person. I usually know what I want, know my own mind, know my own body very, very well, and intuitively know when something's right or not right for me. And so I would say to you, just cut out the noise of other people, sit there, close your eyes, contemplate on what you really want to do, and contemplate, how did you really feel? Close your eyes, take yourself back in that moment. For example, with me, I'm in the gym. Like, what did I feel? Okay, when I went in, I felt some pain, but I was expecting that. I started doing the machines. The guy didn't really know about fibromyalgia, but then I saw the TVs and I was just awful. And I felt really down, And so this type of thing, you put yourself back in the position. Now, if I was ignoring my intuition, I'd think, all right, well, you can just go there and try it again for a bit, but not with the state of my body. I'm not prepared to do that when I don't enjoy it, right? It'd just be ridiculous. And so I'm like, no, you do not have to do what society dictates. You've never been a sports person, Sandra. You haven't been a gym person for years. It's usually not your thing anymore. You tried it. It's gone. Finish Benito. Finito, Benito. Right, done. So you move on to something else. So at the moment, my body's got to, restore itself more fully. I think I've got an infection, so I'm going to have to get that sorted out because I just keep feeling dizzy the whole time. And, you know, and then after that, I might go and do some dance classes, try some dance classes. There's 2 I want to try that I've never been to before. You know, they'll probably work out, one of them would work out less money than the gym per month. One will work out more money than the gym per month. If I go to them every week. So I can go and see, it would only be once a week I'll be going. If they do it once a week, some of them they don't, they only do every fortnight. But I'm probably going to try both of those dances out because I think it's something that's different and good. And why not try new things, right? The only way you're going to change yourself is by trying some new things and having new experiences. But you might find you still prefer what you prefer. And obviously there's walking if I want to do walking. Usually I walk for a purpose rather than no purpose. But, you know, walking still exercise. Even walking hurts because I got fibro, but that's kind of like what I've got to get used to. But yeah, so you know, when you need to quit on something, it's not when your ego says you could quit because you need to carry on soldiering on regardless. It's not when someone else tells you don't quit for a while and carry on. It's not when someone else wants you to do the thing that you don't want to do. You quit when you don't want to do it and you just know it doesn't feel right and it's end of story. There's no, you know, trust your own judgment. I learned something in my business group from Melissa, actually, who posted a post a long time ago saying, why do you value other people's opinions more than you value your own? And I will always remember that now. And it's totally true. Why should I value other people's opinions when they're not even in my position? They don't even know my fitness or health or medical or exercise history. And I know my body and I know my own mind better than anyone. Why should I listen to someone else? I've lived on my own for 17 years. I'm too young for that, really. But, you know, that's a long time. That means I've been able to look after myself for 17 years on my own. Do you know what I mean? That means I can actually look after myself. You know what I mean? I can look after myself. I can keep myself alive. I can, you know, keep a roof over my head. I can keep food in my belly. I can choose things for myself. You know what I mean? It's just very patronizing when people treat you like, you know, you've never done exercise in your life. And I'm thinking I can probably teach you some things. But there you go. You know, and it seems a lot of prejudice and a lot of, you know, a lot of like kind of like discrimination. I feel sometimes I feel like it's possibly because I'm a bigger girl or something. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, well, why are you so obsessed about me doing exercise? It's my life. Do you know what I mean? It's like in the gym specifically, it's like, no, I don't need to. You know, I love my body the way it is. You know, whatever shape and size it is, I love my body. You know, it's gorgeous. And so there you go. And I do love my food, actually. Really nice food. And so anyway, so yes, you should quit on something when it doesn't feel right to you, when the pain is more than the gain, when intuitively you know it's not right, and you should actually go with your gut instinct. And instead of resisting our gut instinct, which we often do in life because we're told to push down our own emotions, push down our own feelings, you know, do what other people tell us to do, be reliant on other people's opinions, being reliant for other people for advice, you know, what we should really be doing is listening to our internal self and making a decision based on that, right? Because life, like I said, is too short and too precious to waste living someone else's life, basically. Which comes on to the next point of this video. It's like, when should you quit on someone? So if you're in a relationship with someone and you love them very, very much, it can be very difficult to end that relationship. One of my asexual friends recently had to end their relationship with someone they loved, and they posted on their Facebook they lost their virginity to, even though they're asexual, and they thought they'd be with this person for the rest of their life. And it's been a very difficult breakup. Lots of love to that person if they're watching this, you know. You know, it's been a very difficult breakup for them. Obviously I'm just sharing stuff which they shared on their Facebook. I'm not using any names or anything, because it's very private stuff. But, you know, like, I really, really felt for the person, you know, and I could feel their pain coming through their words. And it was a very difficult decision for them to make, but they made the right decision. And the reason they made the right decision is because they said that things between them hadn't been going well for some time. and they don't need that extra stress that the relationship was causing. And and because things weren't going well for some time and didn't feel good for some time, that's why they decide to end it. And this is what you should do when you've got someone you love. You should talk to them about the situation, right? Face to face, ideally. It makes you a stronger person if you can do that. But obviously there might be some instances where it's just if they've done something really abusive, then obviously you don't need to do that, right? But if we're talking about ending it on good terms where there's no abuse involved, you need to end things. You haven't actually ended it yet. It's you might want to end it face to face, but some people will find it too distraught and then they will end it in a text message. But anyway, however you end it, you need to first of all talk to the person you love and explain to them that you love them, the good stuff about them, the things you like about the relationship, and you need to explain to them the difficulties you're having, the problems you're having within that relationship, and expressing how you feel. You shouldn't be blaming anyone, trying to tell someone to change. You should be openly expressing how you feel. So you should be saying stuff like, when you do this, it makes me feel that. When you said this, it makes me feel that. So you're not being accusory saying you're a really bad person. You're trying to explain how their behavior feels to you and how it affects you, right? Then it's up to them whether they do something about it or not. But if they do not do something about it, or in fact make things worse, you have to be prepared to walk away. Because if you don't, they will carry on the behavior that's upsetting you and causing you aggravation and pain, and it won't get any better. And if they don't think they need to change and you can't accept them the way they are because they're not giving you your needs, matching your needs, and they're not making you feel happy and wanted and loved, and maybe there is some control or some abuse there, then you have to walk away and leave that relationship. So in a relationship, you would usually give someone the chance to put things right. You would usually talk to them in a serious adult conversation, and you would explain to them the difficulties you're having and have open, honest communication. And then if it's up to the person where they do something about it. So if the person said, yes, I'll do the blah, 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 I see your point, and then they make the appropriate changes which make you feel more comfortable and happy. You can't tell them to change. That's up to them. But if they go ahead and say, yeah, I'll make these changes, and they follow through on that and they're happy to do that, then that's great. If they get resistance and say, well, no, that's not what I want to do, obviously you could see if there's anything else that you could possibly do that would be maybe a compromise or make you feel okay anyway. But if they just basically say to you they'll do something and then they just don't do it, they don't follow through, they just leave you feeling upset and in pain, and they're not going to change, especially when they said they are and they don't do it, then they become a liar as well. They become a liar. So so it's no good doing that, right? So you need to make sure that that you set boundaries in a relationship, but also you have open, honest communication, and you explain to them what the problems are, right? And so if a person, like I said, says they'll do something about it and they don't follow through, then they're unreliable. They're not going to be trustworthy. They're even going to end up being a liar because they're going to have said they're going to do something and not. It's going to break your trust with them, right? If they don't agree with you and they don't want to change it, that is fine. But if it's something fundamentally that you can't have in the relationship that feels uncomfortable, makes you miserable, and they don't want to change, they don't see a problem with what they're doing, that's fine. You don't tell them to change, you just leave. Because at the end of the day, you've explained how you feel, and if they're not prepared to change or don't think they need to change and think everything's fine and the situation is not for you, you have to leave that relationship. And that is the time that you would quit on it. Obviously, if you experience abuse, you should be quitting that relationship immediately because it won't get any better. If a person's an abuser, usually they do not see they're an abuser. They do not think they have a problem or there's anything wrong with them. They'll think everyone else is a problem and everyone else has something wrong with them. They won't get any help, and if they don't get any help, they can't solve the issues and the problems, and because they don't think it's anything to do with them, and you'll just have to walk away again. So if it's abuse that's going on, you walk away. The sooner the better. Get the hell out of there because it's not going to get any better. If you explain how you feel about a situation or things in the relationship and things don't improve and it's really a deal breaker for you and it's making you really unhappy, then you leave the relationship. And if the relationship in general is making you feel more miserable, unhappy, negative emotions and positive emotions over specifically over a long period of time, especially, you know, then you should leave that relationship. A relationship should be fun, exciting, vibrant, energetic, calm, peaceful, loving, giving, sharing, teamwork, trust, honesty, you know, exclusivity if you're in a monogamous relationship, as in, you know, you're not going around chatting other people up, flirting with other people, you know, and you know, there should be a you know, some degree of care and comfort and supporting each other. You should be, you know, putting each other up, not pulling each other down. You should be, you know, you should wake up in the morning thinking, wow, that person really supports me. They understand me. They get me. We've got this special bond. I trust them. I love them. We love each other. They're really healthy for me. They're really good. We're building a future together. We're heading this direction together. This is where our joint goals are. This is our plan for the relationship. And if a person's not doing that, if you've got someone in the relationship that is emotionally unavailable, or they can't actually give you what you want, or maybe their goals and ambitions are just completely different to yours. The other person wants to travel around the world, whereas you're very fixed where you are. Now, clearly incompatibility is another time that you need to quit the relationship. Just continue in the relationship. It's not going to make someone be compatible with you unless someone changes their ideology, their goals, their ambitions and dreams so that they are coherent with yours or match yours, which you shouldn't be forcing them to do or want them to do. If they don't want to do that, then, you know, it's no go, because people in a relationship should have joint goals together for the relationship. Like, especially if you're long distance, which a lot of relationships with asexuals will start off at long distance because, you know, it's hard to meet someone in your city. So, you know, you'll have to have a like, how many months time shall we meet up, or how, you know, when shall we meet up in person? You know, how many video chats shall we have before then? Regular dates online before then, you know, getting to know one another, you know, and you should be still acting like you're in a relationship, even if you're far apart, right? You should be setting yourself up for success in the beginning. But if the pain of being in that relationship is greater than the gain you're getting out of it, in other words, it's making you more miserable, you're crying, maybe more upset, in pain, agitated, anxious, more insecure in the relationship, less confident, then you need to get out of that relationship, because it's going to become very unhealthy for you. You can't live a life where you're miserable, upset, in pain. It's just no good for you, and you need to leave that relationship. So whether it's someone or something that you need to leave, when the pain is more than the gain, you quit. It might be that you come across someone, you get into a relationship with them, and very soon you just automatically feel and know you shouldn't be in that relationship, and that you need to end it sooner rather than later as well. Because at the end of the day, one or more of you is just going to get more and more attached to the other and have more and more pain and upset splitting up. It's going to be no good for you. So don't be afraid to do it at the earliest opportunity that you have, rather than keeping that person with you, because that's not fair to them. They could be having the person of their dreams while you're hogging them for yourself, knowing that it's not going anywhere and you can't succeed together, right? So, for example, I years ago had a boyfriend, right? And I had it was a friend's mum, friend. It was like a friend of a neighbour's mum, and anyway, it was her son. No, not a friend of a neighbour's mum. That was another boyfriend. I was 15. No, this guy was when I was 16. And I went to, I think it was the mother knew someone, and I think it was a family engagement or something or other. And anyway, the guy basically asked me to become his girlfriend. We met up once, and I kissed him. And I knew just from that kiss, it just felt like a lizard kissing me, and it was absolutely horrible. And I knew just from kissing him that one time that we were not meant to be in a relationship. We were only meant to be friends. And so I can tell just from kissing a guy whether it's got potential for me to be in a relationship with him. If I kiss a guy and it feels yuck, like I'm just meant to be his friend, that means I'm just meant to be his friend, right? You shouldn't feel that way about someone you want to have a relationship with. right? So if you are literally kissing and it feels like not right, then just don't carry on. So I had to say to him on the phone, he phoned me up, I think it was the next day, and I told him, I said, I can't be in a relationship with you. It just didn't feel right when I kissed you. I felt like I should just be your friend. He was really upset and go, oh, if you ever want anyone who loves you, get back to me, and put the phone down on me. But sometime later, he phoned me up again and said he still wanted to be my friend. And then we ended up being friends after that. And it was a good job we were friends and not more than that, because later on he was two-timing women and stuff like that. But now his life has completely changed, which proves that some people can actually change. And he's a police officer, married with kids, and very, very faithful to his wife. So some people do actually change completely and turn a whole new leaf over and completely be a different person to what they used to be, in a better way rather than a bad way, you know? So some people can change and there is hope, right? But he had to do that for himself, change and realize that he needed a different type of life and to be a different type of person and become a different type of person, right? So, you know, don't be afraid of quitting a relationship early on, you know, even if you've only been together a short time. Like I was only together with the British guy a few years ago for 3 weeks, but I knew he wasn't right for me because of something that happened. And so I had to quit it. It's better to quit after 3 weeks than carrying on that relationship, you know. And you could argue it wasn't really a relationship if it was only 3 weeks. But anyway, it was what it was. And, you know, and it's what it is, and that's it, you know. And so if someone's no good for me, I don't stay in a relationship with them anymore, even though I prefer a long-term relationship. There's no point in staying with someone who's not right for me or good for me, right? It just, life is too short and precious, but sometimes you have to try it. You have to have a go at it. And it's hard with love because you get attached and feelings develop between both of you, although one person can be more attached than the other. And, you know, I do think it's difficult when two people love each other, but you just can't make it work. It's really hard, that, you know, but you have to let it go, because no good can come of trying to force something that's not meant to be, or at least meant to be at this time and probably forever. You know, the amount of people I see on YouTube in comments and stuff like that going, oh, I want to get my ex back. It's like, why would you want your ex back? You get your ex back, you get the problems that you had with the ex back, you know? Why would you want that? Why, you know? I mean, love just isn't enough sometimes, right? We are fed this myth, you know, a lot of the time, romantic myth, that, oh, love is just, you know, love is everything. You know, all you need is love. But it's not true. All you need is not just love, right? You need love, but there should be a strong foundation of friendship. There should be respect and mutual trust and mutual support, healthy boundaries, healthy relationship, you know, support and encouragement, you know, and developing that trust and growing it over time and being a team and all this lot, right? It's no good just loving someone and that's it. Love on its own is not enough. It really isn't. And it's such a myth that's romanticized over and over again. I'm a romantic person, hyper romantic actually, but I've learned over the years that love just isn't enough. You can love someone, they can be a completely wrong person for you. And you can just like have the worst time being up and down with emotions all the time on a rocky roller coaster. And it can be dreadful. And your morale can go down and everything. Like, so far, I haven't met the right guy for me. You know, I've been more miserable being with someone than I have being single. I'm more confident as a single person. I'm happier as a single person. I don't have anxiety like I do when I'm in a relationship, you know, and have to worry about another person and stuff. And I'm just so much happy just doing my own thing, chilling out and taking care of myself and making my own decisions, you know? So it doesn't matter when you quit in the sense of time. All that matters is you quit when the thing that you're doing is hurting you or causing you more pain than the gain out of it. Obviously, if I really loved the gym and I thought it was amazing as I first thought it was, and I really, really wanted to do it, then I might be able to work something out. But I didn't enjoy it, didn't like it, then want to do it again, right? And so you shouldn't be basing your decisions on what other people think of you and their judgment. You know, that's on them. If they want to go around judging you, that's their problem, right? It's not my problem, right? My life, my rules, my time, my beliefs, my intuition, and what's right for me, you know? I mean, just imagine you do something for a few months just to please someone else or to prove a point, why? What's the point? You don't owe people anything, right? So go and be your beautiful self. Go and live your dreams and quit on something or someone if they're not making you happy. And especially if they're making you more miserable than giving you happy times, right? Love is hard to let go, but you need to let go of it sometime for your own good so that you can feel happy again and be a not happier, nicer for yourself person on your own, you know? Sometimes it's just better to be single, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? It's much better to be single than in a toxic relationship and with someone who's making you unhappy, right? So go and live your dreams, go and live your life, go and be happy, quit on something as quickly as you want to or need to. That is fine. Or if you want to give it some time, it's up to you. But the whole point is do what feels good to you, but don't waste your life away. I spent 8.5 years in total with a guy, a year and a half, and then 6 months later after we split up, we got back together for 7 years. He was very abusive. So you could argue it's a very big waste of life all that time, right? It's a very difficult time. It was a long, long, long time, right? And I do not live that life anymore. I don't go prolonging things and staying with someone longer than I have to if I know that they're no good for me. I have to let them go, even if it's hard. Even if I love them with all my heart, I have to let them go. I have to detach because it's the only way to make sure that I have a happy, healthy relationship in the future with a guy who can appreciate me, value my worth, love me, be very secure in himself, very trustworthy with other people, very boundary driven, and who can, you know, give me the care, love, and support and value my worth and, you know, be really good for me. So I look forward to if I meet that person. Otherwise, I'm happy being single. I really am. So anyway, I'm going to love you and Ethan for now. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Thank you, Megan, for being here. And thanks for everyone else that's been here. Lots of love to you. And I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that great big bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now. I'll post a new video. Love you lots as always. Take care. Bye. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.